Hey everybody, welcome back to week 40, and this week is the beginning of me really kind of toning down how I'm going to be treating my shoulder from now until when I have surgery coming up on November 11th. So we started off with some dead bench. These are partial range of motion lifts going up to 235 pounds. It felt really good, moved really nicely, nothing really too bad on the shoulder, although I will say that my shoulder has been moderately sore all week. After that, moved on to rest pause, which we did with 115, if memory serves right. So I did as many reps as I could with 115, and then waited 30 seconds, and then did sets of 4 until I couldn't safely do a set of 4. As you can see, they started getting kind of rough there towards the end. Afterwards, moved on to this superset of incline dumbbell bench, along with some of the trolley arm rows that we've been doing. We did figure out a pretty good height to have the rows at. It's been kind of a challenge to get them set up, but we ended up lowering the bench just a little bit more, so you're a little bit more laid over, a little bit lower of an incline, and then just elevating the plates with a 45-pound plate. But these felt good. They moved nicely. Nothing really to report. Nothing too much changing on these lifts here, but that rep bench is definitely nice and secure. Move on to day 2. This is safety squat bar squats. This is a lot of weight. God, I'm trying to remember the weight on this. I want to say it's 330 pounds. Sounds about right. And these are just supposed to be like competition style speed, no pause or anything like that, just looking for good depth. Then did these rows at 245 pounds, using a lot of body English, and then a whole bunch of lunges with the safety squat bar. I like to go hands wide, and then I also like to go hands narrow, like on the handles every once in a while. I can't really feel the difference between the two, but I've been told, or I've heard rather, that if you go wide, that it kind of helps with your core a little bit more. I'm not sure how much validity there is to that, though. So on Wednesday, I can't do too many overhead movements, and so I did air bike while the rest of my training partners did their overhead press, their push pressing. And then I moved on to these Swiss bar close grip bench presses. Kept them light at 185, and basically was just doing sets of 8 just to keep the press moving. I don't want to completely quit doing overhead and press movements completely, but I definitely need to start toning it down again as I ramp down for surgery. And speaking of ramping down, these dips freaking hurt a whole bunch. I'm not a big fan of doing these dips. I believe I only did 2 of the actual sets. I'm not doing them weighted at all, but a lot of pressure on the shoulder. Definitely it made a lot of pain. Week 4, these are 15-inch deadlifts. The actual deadlift jacks weigh 45 pounds, so this is a 475-pound set of 3, which I was really surprised at. This moved really nicely for 475. I'm really happy with it, to be honest. A little bit slow on the lockout on the 3rd rep, but it looked pretty good. After that, moved on to high bar squats. This is 335 pounds. And this is another one of those movements where it's going a lot better than I thought it would. Traditionally speaking, I'm a giant chicken when it comes to high bar squats. It just hurts. But I got over it, and it forces me to slow down and actually not hit the hole so hard that my hips come out of alignment. After that, I started adding more bands to our row variation. So this is cannonball grip rows. And there's a red and a green rogue band on there, and this was heavy, so 90 pounds with the bands, and this was actually really heavy. So because I'm not doing pressing movements, what I chose to do with Strongman Saturday morning was just to help out as much as I could. So I did a lot of plate changes, set everybody up, took time, gave down commands, kind of focused on the other guys that train with me, because at least one of them is competing next month, and I want to make sure that they're set up for success. So you can see me changing out for the press medley, and then walking through. This is one of our newer training partners, and he's a freaking animal. He's going to be huge. I mean that too. He's going to be huge, especially if you're watching this. After that, moved on to car deadlift simulator. We decided to drop the chains this week and just go a little bit heavier. So this is 420 pounds, I think. 60, yeah, just doing math. 420 at a 15-inch pick. And I did a set of 8 or 7. It felt like 8 in my head. As you can see, my Labrador is actually getting much better at being a gym dog, because as these plates slam down, she barely moves. And I'm actually really proud of how well I'm able to keep my upper back, my upper thoracic spine, in extension throughout these lifts. Normally I would see basically I'd be like pulling into my belt and you'd see some back rounding, but these actually went really well. So then we have sandbag over bar medley. So I set this up. It was just kind of for fun. This isn't for any sort of contest prep. I just wanted to do it. So the first bag's 150 pounds, or 125 pounds rather. Now here's the funny part, is we weighed these bags after we did the medley. I was under the impression that I had loaded this bag to 200 pounds even. This bag actually weighs 231 pounds. And then we were under the impression that my black Rogue bag that I'm about to pick up weighed 250 pounds. And it's funny because we talk about the mental aspect of lifting, and this is a prime example, because everybody that trains, knowing that it weighs 250, has felt that it was a heavier bag. But after we weighed it, we found out it only weighs 228 pounds. So we're going to be removing some weight from the Cerberus bag and putting it into the Rogue bag. But just an example as to how you can mentally juke yourself out of a lift. After that, we finished up with Hercules hold, which you can see here. This is just 2 pulley setups with 135 pounds plus the pulley weight, and just held it for as long as I could. But that is week 40. Week 40 in the books. So I have withdrawn from all competition, so I won't be competing at Lubbock for the Panhandle Strongest Man, and I won't be competing in the Sam Hain. But go ahead and like the video, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I love interacting with you guys, and I'll see you in week 41. Thank you for watching.